we're just minding our business, enjoying a day at Legoland, and out of nowhere, Universal just decides to be like, oh, hey, we're opening a brand new park and a place where you could do Halloween Horror Nights all year long. Okay, bye.
Dude, where did this come from?
Excuse you, Universal. Hello.
This is crazy. I don't think anyone saw this card. I literally tweeted, I'm like, did anyone have this on their bingo card? Because I didn't.
No. I don't even think, like, somehow this managed to stay ironclad that nobody
How
found
did this
out.
not get leaked?
There was no
like, I
rumors,
think
there was
people were
nothing.
talking about, like, the possible, like, year-round Halloween Horror Nights thing in Vegas. Like, I heard, like, people saying maybe that's happened. But, like, this is a park coming to Dallas? What?
Like, usually nothing from a park of this caliber flies under the radar.
Yeah.
And this just was not on anyone's map.
So this is going to be a family-focused park. So this is going to be...
Maybe something a la Sesame Place.
Or Legoland.
World. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So this is going to be smaller. They said it's going to be about a quarter of the size of, like, the parks in Orlando.
Which, if you've been to the parks in Universal, you know they're huge. Your
So,
feet hurt by the end of the day.
A quarter of a size is pretty decent. That does line up with the idea that it could be, like, something similar in size to, like, Sesame Place. So I think that there's still a ton of potential here. We did get some concept art. Of course, they didn't tell us what exactly everything in the concept art is. However,
But naturally, we looked way too deep into it because we're nerds.
yeah, it looks like this is going to be a DreamWorks-centric park.
If you look closely at the entrance of the park in the concept art, it looks like the DreamWorks logo.
Yeah, and if you focus in on some of these specific areas, this looks like Camp Cretaceous, this looks like Trolls, that could be Shrek, maybe this is Minions. Like, I think that we got this mostly figured out. I don't know, I could also see, like, maybe them making some changes, maybe Kung Fu Panda gets thrown in there, you know? Like, I mean, the point is there's a ton of properties for them to work with that are family-friendly, animation-focused,
Yep.
and they can do rides with it. They can do experiences. If you've been to Sesame Place, you know, like, they have climbing structures, roller coasters, real small, like, children rides. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a little bit of everything, but it doesn't get too crazy, which is what we're going to see with this. And this being Universal's take on it, I think we're probably going to see some family-friendly dark rides. Think about how Legoland has...
It looked like there might be one in the Shrek area.
Yeah, and I could see Jurassic, you know, Camp Cretaceous having some sort of family-friendly dark
Like
ride
baby
there.
dinosaurs.
I don't know.
But what's interesting is I feel like there's been an increase of kids-centric parks. Think about the new Sesame Place. Peppa Pig.
Yes.
Now this.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. It looks like they're trying to pay more attention to the younger audience.
It's because people are figuring out that families spend the most money. Because if you're paying for a kid's ticket, you're probably also paying for mom to go, maybe dad to go, maybe a sibling. Like, this is a lot of money
And they
coming
like
out of one
souvenirs
family.
and-
Exactly. And we know that Universal is also hoping to eventually put a hotel here. They said they hope to put a 300-room hotel next to this property after it eventually opens, which we don't even have an opening date. I think 2027 is reasonable. That's like 4 years from now. I imagine that they're going to have to start construction here relatively soon, because even though it's a family park, this is still Universal level theming.
Yeah.
At least I imagine so.
I imagine it will be. But something interesting to think about is the fact that this is right in the heart of Six Flags territory. Like, their headquarters is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been to Six Flags Over Texas, they don't really have anything for children.
Yeah, they have some, like, kids attractions there, but a lot of it is old. Like,
It's not
this
pretty.
This is a thrill-focused park. However, you look at their CEO and the direction that they're trying to go in, they're trying to be more family-focused. So now
Well, they just got kicked right in the nuts by Universal.
You have a family-focused park that's going to be located maybe 30 minutes away. If you look, Frisco, Texas is about 25 minutes from DFW, which is around the same distance that Six Flags Over Texas is from DFW. It's just in a different direction. If you're unfamiliar with Frisco, it's north of Dallas. It's actually a pretty up-and-coming area. I've heard that there is a lot of money going around in that area, so there's
Well, and you
probably
got
a lot
Austin not super
Exactly.
far away, which is very up and coming.
Yes, and so this whole, like, area is just booming with growth, and so it makes sense that this area can support another theme park, one that is going to be so different from Six Flags Over Texas. The question is, how does Six Flags respond?
I don't know, but they got to move quick. I mean, I know they have a few years, but like the caliber of a project that they would need to do to compete would be so huge. It would probably take several years. And I mean, we already saw how long it took for them to just open a simple like splash coaster.
Yeah, I feel like Six Flags Over Texas needs to first focus on their infrastructure before anything. Like, that park has a lot of areas that just need some refurb. Like, guys, some paint goes a long way, you know? Let's be real here. But then you focus on your family attractions. I think that that's how you rival that, because even though this is a slightly different market, they're still going to be charging just as much, maybe more, than Six Flags charges. Six Flags is the budget chain. Universal is a premium experience.
But people hear the name Universal and they're willing to pay more than
exactly.
For Six Flags.
And these are recognizable brands. I'm sorry, but people care way more about Minions and Jurassic Park and Shrek more than Looney Tunes. Exactly. So they're going to be like, okay, why don't we plan a family trip instead of Six Flags Over Texas, which we're used to now go to this new Universal Dreamworks park.
And Six Flags has made it clear that they're over teenagers. And that's like the main people that want to go to a park like
Teenagers
Six Flags.
don't spend money.
Correct.
That's the thing.
Yes, but now they're not going to have the families that are going to want to come in either.
Yeah.
So they've basically pushed away both audiences now in a sense.
Six Flags has got to be freaking out. They definitely got to figure something out after this. I find competition so fascinating because who wins in this scenario? We do. The fans. We get a whole nother park, and you get to see the other competing chains have to up their game to counter that. So then everyone's just getting better and better. Mm-hmm. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. And I'm going to just take a guess that they will more than likely have, it'll probably be for kids or for families, but a roller coaster. Because if you're going to compete with something like Six Flags, you've got to at least have something.
It looks like in the far back left corner here in the Camp Cretaceous, what we're assuming is area, I originally thought it was a water slide, but it's probably more realistically a roller coaster.
Velocicoaster Jr., please.
It's probably a mine train or something. It's going to be a scenic tour. Come look at some dinosaurs. Some of these attractions do look kind of fascinating, though. It looks like there is like a boat ride or some sort of like raft experience that goes throughout most of the park, and it's a big amount of space. I mean, they said we're working with about 97 acres of land here.
That's pretty big.
Which is a pretty decent size, and so I'm really interested in seeing how everything like ties together. It looks like it's gonna be a beautiful park.
The other thing is the whole thing about Vegas, that we're gonna have something to do with Halloween Horror Nights all year long. Again, that's something that at least there were rumblings of, but this is like a big deal. Vegas is a huge destination for people in their early to mid 20s. And who are the people that go to Halloween Horror Nights?
Exactly.
That exact age range. And I have to say, that would be top of my list to do when it opens. This is going to be
cool because it's going to be completely year-round. We don't have to wait till September or October. It's supposed to be located just off of the Strip next to Area 15. It's going to be a 20-acre expansion.
Not to be confused with Area 51.
Correct, yes. But I like this because it's going to be like supposedly an indoor space. You can work with new properties, classic properties. You can change them out every year if you wanted to.
Yeah,
every
that
couple
was the
months.
thing. I wonder if they're going to do that. Like,
I'm
if they're
sure.
going to rotate them, like how often.
That's how you get people coming back.
Yeah, but at Horror Nights, it's a seasonal event, so they just change it every season. But if it's year-round, when do you flip it? It's like an interesting idea.
Listen, Vegas thrives by having attractions that can be done in a relatively short amount of time. You have the giant wheel over there. That's like, maybe a 45-minute experience. You have the new Meow Wolf thing. You have Adventure Dome. You can spend a couple hours there. Yeah. Big Apple, that's like maybe an hour experience from start to finish, So like this is going to fit right in line with that. So I think it's going to do very well.
I think the other implication of this is keep your eye on Disney. I feel like Universal is really contending for being that like top chain in the United States for theme parks.
This is the first time that we're seeing a Universal park in the U.S. that is not on the East or West Coast. And it is right in the middle of the U.S. Like, you are still going to have people that are going to come here and still want to go to those other parks. This isn't going to take away from people wanting to go to Islands of Adventure or Universal Hollywood for Nintendo,
But if you're a diehard fan of like the theme parks out here and you live in the middle of the country and you want to get your fix but you don't want to go far, hello, this is perfect. I could see more of these going in different locations that are like, relatively nice all year long as far as weather. Yeah. Or you can go indoor. You could do something indoor and go further up north.
And even though we're not the target audience for this park,
it doesn't matter.
I'm still excited to see what they can do with a full like Shrek area or like another Jurassic theme. Like, these are still themes that we as, young adults, we like this. I don't know anything about trolls, but I'm sure it'll look nice,
They're cute, I know that. I find it fascinating that they are in the process of getting ready to rip out the area of Universal Studios Orlando that directly coincides with what this park is going to be.
With Dreamworks, yeah.
It is everything Dreamworks. They ripped out Shrek. They're ripping out the Dreamworks meet and greet area with all the characters.
Yeah, the coaster
Shrek.
or whatever.
Yeah, everything back there that was Dreamworks. They're like, gone. I wonder if this is part of why.
Universal's killing it. This was not at all what I think we expected. I don't even know if it's necessarily what we wanted, but I'm not mad about it. This is exciting, Yeah. Like, this is the company that we love, that has parks that we love, going in an upwards trajectory.
Yeah.
This is one of those steps.
Universal, we're proud of you.
Well done.
Keep it up.
Yep. So let us know down in the comments below what you think of this big announcement. If there's anything you think we missed, anything that you want to throw out there, anything you disagree with, post all that down below. And stay tuned for more news coverage here at Coaster Studios. We'll see you next time.